And with that, I would love to invite Marco up on stage to talk about what happened to Fourdeg 4 years since. Yeah, please come on up. Just join me. Woo! Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How does it feel to be back?
Well, it feels wonderful. So like the Arctic was last year, it was definitely the best, I would say, event to find interesting people like investors, but also the peers of different startups. And it's truly great to be back here. So I feel like home, and I feel just simply wonderful.
So last time you were here, you probably were a little bit more nervous than now. You're more relaxed, I think.
Okay, so being nervous is my job. That's what I do. So yes, so it's always good to be a bit of nervous, and it's very bad to be too relaxed. So I feel, of course, much more comfortable this year because I don't need to convince. I have some things that are convincing, like we are in deliveries and so forth.
Well, because you're feeling comfortable, I'm going to ask you to do maybe a 1-minute pitch on what does Fourdeg do, so that everybody knows.
Fine. So what do we do is like we make necessity called heating better in ways how people perceive it. So like feeling heating is done in Finland, California, the heating, we are doing it most of the year. So we make the quality of the heating better, but we're also saving energy. So we are saving about 25% of the heating in office building, and the people really say that it's better than before. Payback time around 2 to 3 years. So currently people are buying our stuff. We've been shipping since last January, and the feedback is great. We are currently in the other unfortunate problem that we have more orders than we can ship.
That's a good problem to have, that you have more orders than you can ship. But no, I want to go back a little bit, right? So I remember that you guys found out about the competition rather late. And I remember there was a bit of a story. How did you find out, and how did you happen to end up applying in the end?
Okay, so thank you for asking. So like we were in the position that most of the startups must be every now and then. So we had done everything right. We had the correct team, we had the correct passion, we had a very important problem to fix, which was the carbon dioxide emission. We promised to cut like half of the traffic equal amounts of carbon dioxide. We have done the piloting, everything was great. We have talked to investors, but we didn't get the money. We were desperate. So we were about to start searching for boring jobs. And then somebody called from Arctic. And we were on the edge, so like whether we will take the last effort to come to present our stuff. Unfortunately, we said yes. And then we won. And we are here.
I always say that you have to say yes to opportunities whenever you can. And I'm really happy that you guys did that with Arctic15 and that you won. But I want to get back, we won the 50K back then, but that ended up being a totally different amount in the end. Can you walk us through what happened after you won the 50,000 euros?
Okay, cool. So investors are human beings. And I think there are some of you on the board, so obviously agree. Who doesn't agree? You don't agree. Okay.
Well, you're an investor.
You're an investor, so you know. Okay, so anyway, so like what we had some people were committed to join, but then we got this win. We got some visibility, and people started to realize, hey, this is quite interesting, and the other guys are always also investing. So it ended up so like the whole round got oversubscribed, so that we needed to limit the amount of money that we got in. So why did we do that? Because it's not a good idea to play with the valuation too much, because it will hurt in the next rounds. So that we got what we needed to be able to execute for about 1.5 years. And now we are there, we kind of got the money round. So it's pretty cool. We have a wonderful team, so like one Finnish VC and then brilliant angels. And I promised the one to tell a true story about the angels. So it's actually very true from entrepreneur to the audience that you don't only get the money, you also got the knowledge and you get the network. So if you don't get the money yet, organize the money, but also please try to get the best investors.
What was the final amount? I don't think you mentioned.
Okay, so we needed to, so we were about to get, so 250K was the final round, and from this angel team who were there, so that they started with 50, and we were ended up in 110, but we decided to cut it to 90.
Cool. achievement. Woo! I don't know why my microphone goes up and down, but we'll figure that out. Tell us a bit, you got the money, you got the funding. I know it wasn't like right away, you had the negotiation period, but tell me more about the company, right? What happened since May 27th last year until now?
So now we are kind of one step closer to our dream. So like we did some practical things. So we made us a very simple but like important reward, so that we decided to move from the backwoods of Espoo to downtown of Helsinki into a very cheap office. But that was a present for our team. So let's have some fun, let's enjoy the environment, and let's be close to our customers, because our customers are the building owners and they are in the center of Helsinki. So that was number one thing, of course. But what we then did with the money, so like we of course did the logistics in place, so like we could buy the products that we needed in order to be able to ship. We could execute changing the platform that we were running from this kind of open source stuff to kind of real commercial stuff for the software part, and then we were able to ship the products to our customers that have done the orders. So that those were the main things. But I kind of emphasize this kind of mental part, so that from this kind of starving guys being in a sad place, so like it's sometimes very important, so like you give something for the team so that they trust. Don't waste all the money, of course, for the team, but it's important, so like you show that you are now executing.
How's it going with, you mentioned you have clients, right? So can you tell us more about your clients? How many clients? How's it going revenue-wise? What are your growth plans?
So let me give you, I think the word is conversion, so that how many customers do you need and how you meet and how many of them make an order. So currently we are about 75% of the customers who we meet make an order. So and I think that is the kind of most important number at the moment. So we've currently shipping, so far the order book is about 100K, a bit less than that, and we are planning to sell about 500,000 this year. And anyhow, before we take the next round of investments, we plan to be at that ballpark.
And what about your team? Have you grown team-wise?
True. So like last time I said that yes, we are not very pretty because we are experienced guys. We've fixed that. So like we've hired 2 young guys, one making software and one making analysis of the most essential things that we are doing, and the other person was here. So like you could see the difference in our booth. So like if you got only this kind of a ugly Finnish smile which you can't see, guys, or if you then have a kind of somebody who is like easier to address. So and we are all human beings, so it means that you got to have the kind of different types of people in the team so that you get the spirit up.
And what about your plans for the next year or the next few years? What are your plans for the future and for growth? How are you gonna take over the world?
Okay, so
big plans.
Yeah, so we have big plans, and we won the Kasvu Open, the events, the Finnish startup event last autumn, because we had a plan which we were brave enough to tell. Our plan is to grow a big software company. And I said a big number, 100 million a year, software sales mainly. And how we are going to do that, and why we won was like, we are not going to take all of the money of the business, because heating is very, very huge business, so there's room for partners. We are currently building the delivery and the service together with big players in the market who will do most of the work, who will get lots of money, and if they succeed, we'll succeed. And we started in Finnish market, so we have this kind of one service company as a partner, the city being a customer, and then we delivering the technology. And that's the model that we are planning to do also, not only in Finland, but we have first pilot in Sweden. We plan to go to Denmark, Germany, eastern part of Europe. We could also ship a pilot to China, but that seems to be rather laborious at the moment. But it's just an evidence that there would be business there as well.
Great. So you're gonna be basically you're gonna be basically shifting from just hardware, but also like purely focusing on software.
Correct. So like yes. So people quite often we've been very lucky that for some reason press loves us. And we've been in some magazines and people want to take pictures about the entrepreneurs so that they always want that we hold the thermostats in our hands. And we try to say that, okay, these are needed, but this is not the thing, so it's a software.
Yeah.
What we are like, I'm one of the consumers, so that we don't necessarily understand the service, especially if it's invisible software. So that's the reason, so like definitely we are a software company, we're going to make all of our earnings based on that, but we need hardware, so Internet of Things means that you got to have the things as well.
Can you, I think, explain a little bit more about how exactly are you going to save the energy?
Okay. So we simply take care that the heating goes to the place where it's supposed to go and when it is supposed to go. So it means like the heating is more comfortable, but at the same time we just remove the unnecessary part, the waste heating. So it means like empty rooms, how warm does it need to be? Does it have to be really like 24 degrees or is it okay that it's 17? So these kind of simple things.
You would be saving a lot of energy today and yesterday.
Correct.
Yes. Because
Yeah, that's right. So like there's loads of potential to save energy, and quite often people. So I asked once. So let's make another. So like, who would pay 5,000 more of a car that is totally economically, so ecologically friendly, no, zero emission car? 5,000 euros more. You? Okay, 5,000. Only 5,000. 3,000 euros. 3,000 more euros more of a car that is eco-friendly. Okay, didn't get too many hands. Okay, so perhaps you didn't understand what I was saying. So most of you will pay because Volkswagen and Toyota have already decided that you will. Okay, so that is very important. People are willing to make sacrifices. With the heating, it's interesting because you can save money and you can save more ecological, the carbon dioxide. So that is the equation, and that is our challenge. So like some things which people don't understand that does happen automatically is possible to do. So can we somehow save the world? Yes, we can. We're doing right kind of things, and then we make in a business-wise in a reasonable way.
Awesome. Hey, I think on the note that we can save the world is a good note to end the chat with. Thank you so much for coming over to Arctic15 once again. Thank you so much for being on the stage once again. I hope you will be back more and more. Hopefully telling about Series D and exit strategies later on. But yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you.